And so we are on to the next phase of the offseason, which should be training results. And we'll get an idea on just how well some of our players have developed, as well as which players have received dev trait upgrades. And right off the bat, we have a dev trait upgrade to impact for Cordoba, who is a key cog in the middle of our defense at defensive tackle. So that's going to be huge going forward. Next up, we have a dev trait upgrade to T-Mart, who has been having a breakout last couple of seasons, and he's being rewarded for it justifiably so with an impact upgrade. And also we have an upgrade to the dev trait for Kobe Smith, who's been upgraded to elite. He has been breaking all kinds of records, so it's only right and it only makes sense. Next up, his tag team partner, well, that's not his tag team partner, but it's one of his partners on defense. Dev trait upgraded to a star for Jaden Walker, who's been a magnificent contributor for us on defense. Now, let's take a peek at these training results. So, Jaden Davis didn't even really upgrade. What type of mess is that? That's insane. So he just stays at 89, nothing gets upgraded. Well, Darren Ivey upgraded overall, went up 2 overall points. Sanderson went up 2 overall points. Ivy also went up 4 for agility and a few other attributes, but I'm a little discombobulated at the fact that Jaden Davis didn't go up at all. Like, that's complete garbage. He actually had a pretty decent season last season outside of a few turnovers here and there. That's whack. Well, T-Mart went up +4. His speed went up +2, as well as his acceleration. So that's going to be huge for us as we go into this next season while we try to win a Heisman Award with T-Mart. So next up, we got the receiver position. Russell Babineau comes in. He goes up +8 points. What a massive jump. His speed and acceleration didn't get touched, but 8 overall points, that's going to be huge for us. Bennett went up +1 to an 82. Brantley went up +7 to an 82. Mekhi White went up +3 to an 82. Tight ends, we're not looking too fabulous there, although Lane went up +8 to a 71. So that's a massive jump. Offensive linemen, not nothing too tremendous, but they're right around where we need them to be a sufficient blocking offensive line for us to be able to control certain games, specifically games against the higher end opponents like the Ohio States, the Alabamas, the Georgias, so on and so forth. If we want to win going forward, we're going to make sure we're going to need to make sure that we have an established offensive line. So looking at our edges, Walls went up +2, Kobe Smith went up +2. So the two bookends are 83 and an 82 overall, but they play like they're a 93 and a 92 overall. So looking at Sam, +3 for Buchanan to a 76. Barkley went up +3 to a 71. And then Jaden Walker went up +4 to an 86. His speed and acceleration stayed the same. Strength went up +3, as well as his awareness. Looking at Will, Donald didn't change. Lowe went up a little bit, but nothing spectacular. We don't really have anything to brag about at that position. But at the corner position, Rawson went up +2 to an 81. But most importantly, his speed went up +2 and his acceleration, as well as Butler. So our two starting corners, the most pivotal part of our defense, especially when going up against the elite universities, have went up. Their speed has went up. So they'll be able to stick with the players like Jeremiah Smiths and Ryan Williams and so on and so forth. So safeties, nothing too spectacular. But again, we got what we need out of them, which is 87 speed, 89 acceleration, and so on and so forth. I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed at all in the training results. The only thing I'm disappointed in is the fact that Jaden Davis didn't go up at all. That's just completely egregious. But next it's time to see, let's see, how many players do? Oh, we got about 10 players we need to encourage to transfer. I need to start being more mindful of these recruits that I'm bringing in, because I had such a large recruiting class and now I have to pay for it. And I mentioned early on in this dynasty, as well as my Florida Atlantic dynasty in college football 25, that after the first year is the year where you want to bring in the most prospects. But after that, or the most recruits, but after that, you have to start dialing it back. Just because they give you 35 targets doesn't mean you have to bring in 35 players. It starts tapering down. You really only need to bring in like 15 to 20 per year, if even that. And I've been getting a little bit out of control, especially this recruiting class. Although we're moving up and being one of the top universities with the top classes, we can't keep bringing in an overwhelming amount of prospects, because then we're going to find ourselves in a position like we're in right now, where we have to encourage 10 prospects to leave. So let's see. 68 speed, 69 acceleration. Is he available to? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, get him up out of here. I'm cool with that. All right, who else? Who else is next? Left tackle. I don't think I want to encourage anybody here. Let's see what we got elsewhere along the offensive line. So guard, Childs. Let's see. Don't really want to mess with that. Center. Don't really have much here, but we may revisit this depending on what we have elsewhere. Okay, so we have an abundance here at right guard. Okay, see, here we go. Emery, we can encourage him to transfer. He's not too spectacular, especially at the edge with a 63 speed, 62 acceleration, and he's only a 61 overall. You can go ahead and get on up out of here. All right, so now we need 5 more. This is going to be tough. What makes it even worse is that, you can't encourage like freshmen to transfer. So like some of the players that might have come in that aren't the best, that I would probably want to leave and go to another school, we're stuck with them. So now we have to encourage other players with higher overalls to transfer that we don't necessarily really want to transfer. So we can go ahead and get him up out of here. Let's see, we got 4 more we got to encourage to get up out of here. Oh, decisions. Well, he only has a 73 speed. He's a 64 overall. Yeah, you can go 3 more. Oh, yeah, you can go 2. Cornerback with 84 speed. Yeah, you can get out of here. All right, 2 more. 2 more. And we're done. But that's easier said than done. So let me see what we working with. What we working with. Because see, even these corners with the lower ratings, their speed isn't exactly the worst. I mean, besides Muhammad, who has 86 speed, I guess maybe we can have him, encourage him to transfer. Chacon, I don't know if I want him to transfer just yet. He could be important to us going forward. I just talked Sanderson into coming back, and I'm not getting rid of Ivy, so definitely not getting rid of Jaden. But see, if these players weren't grayed out, if they weren't freshmen, I would encourage them to get the hell up out of here, because there's plenty of players other than the ones that we have access to encourage to transfer that I would encourage to transfer, but we're stuck with them for at least a year, and who knows where they're at after they develop after the first year going into next season. Then we'll find ourselves in the same position. So Velez, it's looking like Velez is about to be the odd man out. I hate to ship off Velez because he was one of our recruits that we worked so hard to get in here. 1 damn player left. Decisions. Who to move? All right, right edge. This might be the one right here, Angel Cooks. But he probably might pan out as a good defensive tackle. See, that's what sucks about trying to get rid of those edges with slower speed. You move them to defensive tackle and they work out at D tackle. Alfonso Lowe, 73 speed at will. Okay, so he might be the one to go for sure. Because you definitely aren't built to be an edge. Yeah, you got to go. All right, so that's a wrap. That was tough. That was hard. But we're going to go ahead and cut it right there as this video is approaching 11 minutes. We'll get to the next phase of the offseason on the next episode. As always, if you're here for the first time or you're returning and you haven't liked or subscribed already, please do so. Click that notification tab so you can stay up to speed with more of this Kent State rebuild as well as other college football 26 content. Again, I appreciate you all for tuning in. That's been my time. Till next time. Peace.